I've had an interesting experience recently. To put it into context, so a few years ago, I went on an adventure and I climbed Kilimanjaro. Some of you might know from a post that I put on. And while I was there, I met a fantastic group of people, and one person in particular. We really bonded. We shared a tent for 11 days, and there's no washing particularly going on at that time, so you do form a particularly strong bond. And also, she doesn't actually randomly, coincidentally, in the UK, she doesn't live that far away from me. So when we got back to the UK, I was really excited about hopefully keeping in touch with her and hiking together and all sorts of things. And that didn't really work out. I didn't really see much from her at all. And she started to really kind of pull away from the group, the group that we met in doing the climb. And you can't help but take it personally. So I started to think, oh, what have I done wrong, and why are they choosing not to talk to me anymore? And not hearing from her, that silence, almost like ghosting. She wouldn't reply to some messages, hit some triggers. Made me feel a little bit insecure. Anyway, I got in touch with her again recently, just to say hi. I've been thinking about you. I sent her a voice note and kind of caught her up on some of the things that I've been going through. And she sent me a message back saying, thank you for reaching out. And actually, the reason I haven't been in touch is because I didn't want to hear perhaps how good your life was. I didn't want to hear about all the great things that you're doing, because she's actually going through something. And the reason I'm choosing to talk about it is because I think every so often we need those moments to take a second to not always see the world through and situations through our eyes and our perspective. And we have to take a moment to maybe try and see somebody else's point of view, or recognize that there's a possibility that somebody's struggling. And the reason that they're not talking to you is not because of you, because you've done anything. And we need to not take it personally, but actually to maybe go, somebody is out there, again, struggling with something. So to keep the doors open, to keep the lines of communication open, so that when and if that person does want to talk about it, they can. They're in this, they feel like they are safe with you, and they feel like they're not being judged with you, to be able to talk. And it's at that point as well when you could perhaps express the hurt that you may have felt in not hearing from them. But again, it just goes back to communicating and not making assumptions, but to find out the facts, but to remember that we're all human, we're all going through things, and sometimes we don't always say things in the best way or explain ourselves in the best way. But it's about being open to that and accepting people for who they are, and just remembering that people might, need that friend. So it's just, again, like I say, about just keeping those lines of communication open, because you never know what someone's going through.